A conflict thousands of kilometers away is now hitting Indian households where it hurts the most: the kitchen. The ripple effects of the conflict are now being felt in the price of cooking gas. As tensions threatened vital energy routes like the Strait of Hormuz, through which a major share of India's LPG import passes, global energy markets are on edge. The result: rising import cost and fresh pressure on LPG prices back home. How exactly is a distant war hitting up India's kitchen budgets? The ongoing conflict in the Middle East, especially tensions involving Iran and Western allies, is affecting LPG prices in India mainly because India depends heavily on that region for energy imports. According to current news and energy reports, India imports a large share of LPG from the Middle East, and India does not produce enough LPG domestically, so it imports a significant portion from Gulf countries such as Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE. Around 80 to 85% of India's LPG imports pass through the Strait of Hormuz, a key shipping route in the Middle East. Many of these shipments come from Gulf suppliers, making India highly dependent on the region. So when war or tensions disrupt that region, India's LPG supply chain gets affected immediately. Now the main character of this story, the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the world's most important oil and gas shipping routes. About 20% of global petroleum supply passes through this strait, and around 50% of India's crude oil imports are also passing through this. When tensions or attacks happen near this route, shipping becoming risky or slower, pushing energy prices higher globally. Basically, it is a global energy choke point. Aviation expert Subhash Goyal has said that reports of a nationwide commercial LPG shortage are not accurate at this stage. According to him, the issue appears to be localized, beginning in Bengaluru, Karnataka, and may be linked more to distribution challenges rather than a supply crisis. He noted that the government of India maintains LPG storage reserves that can last for at least 2 years, suggesting that there is no immediate nationwide shortage. However, he cautioned that if the ongoing conflict in the Middle East continues for a prolonged period, it could eventually affect supplies. Goyal expressed hope that diplomatic efforts will prevail and stability will return soon, preventing any long-term disruption to India's LPG supply chain.
See, LPG has not affected all of India. This situation had started in Karnataka, in Bangalore. Probably that was because, according to Government of India, we have a storage facility for at least 2 years. And this could have been a distribution problem. But yes, if the war is going to stay for long, it will definitely impact. And because the strait from where all the gas and oil comes has been blocked. And we are hoping and we are praying that this war stops and peace is there. And all the Middle East nations have also got together and told Iran to stop indiscriminate bombarding and firing of drones. And I hope good sense prevails on both sides and peace is there.
Global oil prices usually rise during war because war creates uncertainty in global energy markets. For example, global crude prices recently jumped as the conflict escalated. When oil prices increase, refining and transportation costs also rise, affecting LPG prices. Like in this scenario, LPG is produced partly from crude oil processing. Its prices moves with oil prices, and India has already increased LPG prices. Due to the rising global energy cost linked to the conflict, domestic LPG prices were increased by about 60 rupees per cylinder recently. Commercial LPG cylinders used by restaurants rose by more than 100 rupees. Supply pressure is also affecting restaurants and businesses that depend on LPG, a popular biryani chain, a restaurant, has temporarily shifted to traditional firewood cooking amid a shortage of commercial LPG cylinders. In another case, a 3-star property sanctuary hotel has switched to wood stove cooking after facing difficulties procuring commercial LPG cylinders required for its kitchen. Here are some visuals circulating on social media. India imports nearly 90% of its crude oil and a large share of LPG, which makes the country vulnerable to geopolitical shocks in the Middle East. So from 5-star kitchens to iconic biryani joints, the LPG crunch is now forcing restaurants to turn back the clock. In cities like Hyderabad and Bengaluru, establishments like big restaurant chains and other hotels are switching to traditional firewood stoves just to keep their kitchen running. With commercial LPG cylinders becoming harder to procure, menus are shrinking and operations are under strain. It is a stark reminder that disruption in global energy supply chains are no longer distant headlines. They are now reshaping how food is cooked and served across India.